Hey everybody, I wanted to show you my new children's book. It's called the Alpaca Jr. Rangers, and it's illustrated by Alexis Eastburn, and she is just absolutely an awesome illustrator. You will see as you see these pages. But I want to introduce you to the Alpaca Jr. Rangers. This is Miss May. This is Roger, Penelope, Maggie, Joshua, and Seth. Sorry, I had a moment's laugh, but I'm going to read you this. And it is available on Amazon and all major online bookstores, including Barnes and Noble. See if I can talk today. And I hope you get a good view of these pictures. It was a beautiful April day. The sun was shining and the birds were chirping. Miss May was so excited to be able to take her Alpaca Jr. Rangers on their first ever camping trip. If the Rangers' trip was successful, they would receive their first merit badges. This was going to be a special trip. Welcome to Camp Alpaca, Rangers, Miss May exclaimed as the Junior Rangers were getting off the bus. We have 3 activities planned for today, and I hope you will enjoy them all. Right now, let us get our gear and let's go pitch our tents. While they were pitching the tents, Seth, the smallest of the Alpaca Jr. Rangers, approached Miss May. Miss May, he said nervously. What's wrong, Seth? Miss May asked. Little Seth looked up at her and said skittishly, I'm afraid of the dark. Miss May smiled and leaned down towards Seth and said, I thought someone might be, so I put something for each of you in your backpacks so you wouldn't be scared. Seth opened up his backpack and found a mini flashlight stowed away inside. You can leave that on all night if you need to, Miss May said. Little Seth took a deep breath and smiled. The first activity of their camping trip was canoeing. Miss May led the Rangers single file down to the lake where the canoes were waiting for them. The camp's canoe guide gave a brief lesson to the Junior Rangers on how to sit in the canoe and how to use the oars, and then he issued them their life jackets. When he was finished, Miss May asked the Junior Rangers if anyone had any questions. Junior Ranger Maggie slowly raised her hand. Yes, Maggie, Miss May asked. Maggie looked around the group and then in a soft voice said, What if the canoe tips over? I don't swim very well. I'm kind of afraid of the water. What if I can't get back in the canoe? Miss May looked at Maggie and said, You don't need to be afraid. I packed something with me that will help with that if it happens. Miss May opened one of her backpacks and pulled out 3 smaller bags. These are rescue bags, Miss May said. I need 3 volunteers. One of these bags will go in each canoe, and if someone's canoe does happen to tip over, you will be responsible for throwing the bag into the water to help rescue your fellow Junior Ranger. Maggie turned around to look at the group of fellow Junior Rangers again. This time, she smiled. They were all raising their hands to volunteer. Miss May turned to Maggie and said, "If anything like that happens, we will be a team and deal with it together. Does that make you feel better, a little better, Maggie?" she asked. Maggie smiled and said, "Yes, thank you, Miss May." Maggie ended up having such a good time that she didn't want to get out of the canoe when they were finished. The next activity was a nature walk. The camp's nature guide gave them a full tour and told them about some of the wildlife they might come across. They saw many different types of birds like blue jays and robins, and they saw plenty of squirrels and deer. They even caught sight of a pair of alpacas in a field. Everyone was enjoying the walk until their guide mentioned that there were snakes on the trail. "Snakes? Oh no, not snakes," exclaimed a frightened Junior Ranger Penelope. "Miss May, I can't do snakes. I'm afraid of snakes," she said. Miss May went over to Penelope and took hold of her hand, then leaned into Penelope's ear and whispered, "Me too." Miss May asked all the Junior Rangers to hold hands, and then she said in a strong voice, "Be prepared, Junior Rangers, and keep your eyes peeled. If anyone sees a snake, we run." The Alpaca Junior Rangers cheered, "Yes, ma'am," in response. Penelope felt much better. After the nature walk, the group headed back to their camp. No snakes were seen today. The sun was setting and it was beginning to get dark, so Seth led the way and made sure everyone had their flashlights out and ready. As a surprise for Seth, when the darkness came, the other Junior Rangers turned on their flashlights and pointed them in Seth's area, giving him plenty of light. "Ha ha ha," Seth laughed. "I love the Alpaca Junior Rangers," he exclaimed. It was time for the last activity, the campfire. As the Junior Rangers were gathering in a circle around the campfire, preparing their marshmallows for roasting, Miss May noticed that Junior Ranger Joshua was sitting by his tent, far away from the group. As it turned out, Joshua was afraid of fire. Junior Ranger Roger told Miss May, "He won't even have candles on his birthday cake." Miss May couldn't get him to come near it and couldn't figure out how to help him. She didn't want to try to enjoy this great campfire with the other Junior Rangers while he sat off by himself. "Alpaca Junior Rangers," she said to the group, "I need your help. What should I do?" Junior Ranger Roger stood up and he said, "Joshua's more important than any old fire. We need him. We don't need a fire." With that, he and the other Junior Rangers picked up their marshmallow sticks and made a new circle in front of Joshua's tent. Joshua quickly joined in and sat in the circle. There, all the Alpaca Junior Rangers sat, pretending to roast marshmallows on a campfire that wasn't there. After a good night's sleep, the next morning Miss May lined up the Junior Rangers. It was time for them to receive their merit badges. Miss May began, "My Alpaca Junior Rangers, you have shown the best side of yourselves on this trip. Teamwork, friendship, letting others know that you are there for them in any situation is something special. It brings strength to those needing it. I am so proud of each of you and so proud to give you these well-earned merit badges. Once she had pinned each of the badges on the Junior Rangers, Miss May turned to Roger, who was the last Junior Ranger in line. Roger, all the Junior Rangers have faced one of their fears on this trip, except for you. Is there anything you are afraid of? Miss May, there's only one thing I'm afraid of, but it's nothing here. It's at home, he said. What's that, Roger? Miss May asked. Roger timidly looked around his group of fellow Junior Rangers. Then he replied, I'm afraid of my sister's bedroom. The other Junior Rangers looked at each other with a puzzled look on their faces, and Miss May asked, Why would you be afraid of her bedroom? Roger replied, Because it's filled with a lot of pink fluffy things. It's really scary. Miss May and the rest of the Alpaca Junior Rangers smiled, then gave Roger a big group hug. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story, and if you really, 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 really loved it, please go out and purchase a copy. I'd really appreciate it. I'd love for as many children to be able to read my story as possible. That's why I do it. I like trying to inspire. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.